If you are coaching clients after a period of long-term absence related to burnout, then this video is for you, because there are typically three choices or three decisions, three questions that clients that are coming through the other side of burnout will want to answer for themselves. And in this video, I want to talk to you about those three questions and things that you need to be mindful of as a coach in order to help your clients come up with the best decision for them at this time. So let's get into it. What are the choices? What are the decisions? What are the questions? Typically, if we've got a client that has taken long-term absence out of work or maybe out of their business, they will find themselves at a bit of a crossroads. And what will be going around in their head, perhaps even what they've come to you for coaching for, is do they go back to what it was that they've just left? So do they go back into their employment or back into their own business? Do they find another job or another company to work for or with? And or do they do something completely different for themselves, right? Almost kind of start from scratch. So do they go back? Do they find somewhere else, or do they do something completely different for themselves? Having coached over 700 leaders through burnout now, I can say that this conversation, these questions, these decisions, these choices have come up with pretty much every single client that I have worked with over the last 12 years. Before you get into answering those, though, or supporting your clients in answering those questions, you need to be really, really mindful of the fact that whilst logically it might seem really simple to us as the coach, we'll just do this, right? This is kind of the easiest option for now. We need to be aware that the decision making, the cognitive functioning, the cognitive abilities of our clients is going to be hindered as a result of burnout. So what might seem, let's explore the decisions, right? If you want to just work through maybe pros and cons, or let's just talk through each and every one of them. The brain of a client at burnout is impacted where the point of decision making is actually not an easy thing to do. Decisions are also hindered by a lot of fear of what if I reach burnout again? And we need to be able to work with clients in feeling the decision, right? Coming into their body, finding the decision that feels safest for them, finding the decision that is best for them, sometimes in a way that actually almost kind of takes the brain completely out of the equation whatsoever. So how do we do that? The first thing that we need to do is really create a sense of safety for our clients. We need to find tools and techniques and questions that allow our clients to feel safe enough in their body to be able to start trusting their own judgment and their own decisions again. They need to feel safe enough to trust their own intuition again. They need to feel safe enough to go with that gut feel again. And they need to feel safe enough to know that actually whichever route they take is unlikely to get them to the point of burnout again, because they'll be more aware this time round. Now, we obviously need to caveat that. Clients that have been at burnout once are absolutely more likely to get to the point of burnout again, right? The impact that it has on our nervous system, on our body, on our thoughts, on our brains, all of that kind of stuff. We can't really just get away with that. We can't automatically, kind of switch that off over the course of a matter of months, sometimes even years, right? That can stay with us for a long time for. But our clients need to know and feel that it is safe enough for them to make a decision. That's the first thing that we need to focus on. If you haven't seen my video about the 3 seats of the burnout coach, I suggest that you look at that one first, because it talks to you about how we need to move from kind of human to explorer to guide. Now, most coaches jump straight into guide mode, right? Okay, you know where you want to be by the end of the coaching, right? You want to make a decision for these 3 things, and then we're going to start to map it through. If you jump straight into guide without having been in the seat of human and explorer, and if you jump straight into strategy without first having explored the state and the safety and the self, your clients will be more likely to relapse from burnout. I'm not throwing that out as just a blanket statement. I have seen it over and over again with coaches that are in this space. So which seat do you need to sit in first? and be aware that you need to start with state and safety. Okay, that's the first thing that we need to be able to understand. So secondly, then, when it comes to being able to make these decisions, right, if our clients feel safe enough to start to move forward, to start to make these decisions, to start to create the changes that they need to be creating in their lives, sometimes that logic can still kind of stop them from getting there, right? Now, again, if their stress bucket, if their stress glass is still overflowing, it's still too full, they're going to be in the primitive part of their brain. And in the primitive part of their brain, they're going to be unable to be creative or innovative or make decisions or be positive or be able to move forward. So again, we need to be working continually on helping them to reduce that stress, to get them back into the intellectual part of their brain where they can be happy, healthy, high performing, positive, creative, innovative, come up with all of the answers and all of the decisions that they need. Okay, so we need to get them back into that intellectual part of their brain. We also need to be very, very mindful of the fact, though, that we need to get our clients into the feeling state. Now, one technique that I absolutely love, I think is a game changer for clients at burnout. Do not practice this. Do not go researching, do not go Google searching and then suddenly start using it with all of your clients if it's not a technique that you are trained in. Now, I train this and cover this in the 2-day Burnout Informed Coach training and in the Master Burnout Coach training. You may have been trained in it before in terms of your coaching already, but if it's not a technique that you are familiar with, please do not just do a Google search on it and then think that you're equipped and ready to train it. Because again, without the right training, without knowing what to look for or how to take clients through it safely, you could be doing more harm than good. But there is my favourite anyway. There is a Gestalt coaching technique which uses different spaces within a room. Okay, clients actually stand in different positions to help them decide. Position 1 is go back to what I was doing. Position 2, find something else, right? Find a new job, find a different company to work for. Position 3, do something on my own. But I think what we also need to consider is there needs to be like a 4th position in and around the room. And that 4th position is like something else. So clients will move around the room. They're going to feel into their body. You're going to coach them in each of the spaces, right? You get them to feel it. Again, you might have similar techniques to do it. But ultimately, we want to help our clients feel some of these decisions again, right? Get comfortable being back in their body again. Another important thing to note when it comes to these decisions, these choices, do I go back to work? Do I look for a new job, or do I start something on my own? What's really important to be able to support our clients through is knowing that the decision that they make now does not have to be the decision that they make forever. It might be in the short term that going back into their role, where at least there is financial stability, there is a regular salary, people know them, people can help them, people can support them. Potentially that might be the right decision for now, but only on a temporary basis. And maybe just until they can find a new role and or be able to help themselves in starting their own business or starting their own thing, whatever that next thing may be. Now, if it is that first choice that they want, again, I've got another video that will talk to you about what that return to work needs to look like, how you can help and support that as a coach. You'll find that also on my channel. So if the first choice is that's what they need to do, make the decision, okay? Go back into work. It may just be on a temporary basis. It may also be that actually I am going to look for another job, and whilst I'm doing that, I'm also going to start thinking about starting my own thing, right? Doing my own thing. Maybe they've always wanted their own business. They've not got to that point yet. Maybe burnout has taught them that they don't want to be in a corporate environment anymore or an employed basis anymore, and therefore they want to do their own thing. Again, what we need to know, what we need to support our clients in realizing is that making too hasty a decision can, again, if we're already living and working and breathing in a body that has got, for at least for the time being, like a compromised nervous system, if our decision making, our confidence, our cognitive thinking, our cognitive ability, our judgment, our decision making, our ability to create and innovate, if all of that is impacted, maybe now isn't the right time to be making a big life choice anyway. And again, as coaches, we can help to facilitate that. If we rush too much into, again, the seat of guide mode and go straight into strategy without understanding how the brains and the bodies and the nervous system of our clients are impacted, again, we could do more harm than good. So if you are working with a client that is coming through the other side of burnout and they're coming to you with those decisions, do I go back to work? Do I look for another business? Or do I start something on my own? And you think, oh, this is really exciting, right? I'm brilliant at helping clients with this, right? This is kind of my forte, right? Career coaching, business coaching, whatever it may be. If you go straight into strategy mode in helping them with that, and you're not creating that sense of safety, you're not allowing them to feel safe, you're not recognizing or understanding that burnout will have had an impact on their brain and their body and their nervous system, you could do more harm than good. And 6 months down the line, your clients could be in a second point of burnout. I'm also going to know if you do not feel equipped and ready to coach your clients through burnout, I'll pop a link to a short assessment in the comments below, right? 3 minutes, 12 questions. You can find out if you are a coach that is equipped enough to coach burnout. I'll pop that for you below. But again, if you're not equipped for it, if you don't understand burnout, please refer your client onto somebody that gets it, right? Be that a specific burnout coach, be that a burnout informed coach, maybe that's a therapist, a medical practitioner, maybe there's somebody else that can help them find that feeling of safety, that state of calm, that state of being. And once they've been able to get that, then they can come to you. You can be the best coach in the world for them in helping them to find the answers to that decision. But if you're not burnout informed and or you do not understand burnout, then just consider, for the best interests of your client, who might be better equipped to help them now before you start helping them transition into whatever their bright future might look like. I hope you found that useful for now. If you have, please give it a like, please give it a subscribe. I have new videos on this channel every single week, including my Burnout at Breakfast weekly live, Mondays at 8 a.m. UK time. Because I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.